Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Play Action Podcast, episode 49. I am Will, and I always have Colton here with me. Colton, how you doing today?
I'm all right, man. Basketball got me a little shook last night. Not what I was expecting. Again, call 100 gambler got dounced with a nice early betting loss for the Lakers. So
That's your
could be
fault.
better, but again, basketball's back, football's back, and
Hockey's back. There's
I
baseball.
not
There's
really.
so many things going down.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. Geez, see, we gotta
The Flyers break my heart. The Lakers break your heart.
Devils.
Do you regret? Okay, I'm not talking about the Devils. I'll never go with the Devils. But
It's all right,
do you regret? Do you wish the Lakers did not trade away Kuzma or let him walk? I don't know how he left
No,
LA.
they traded him, but yeah, I'm not a huge fan of what they acquired. But last time I checked, this is a play action podcast, not like an off the dribble thing for basketball. Even though I could talk basketball all day with you, even though you're not a basketball guy. But no, seriously, got some exciting news. Well, I can't wait to get into it with you.
Yeah, we're going to be diving in right now. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys for tuning in wherever you're listening to. And this is the Play Action Podcast.
This is the Play Action Podcast featuring Will.
In the past 150 days, you didn't ever decide to sit down at your damn desk and be like, hey, let's game plan this playbook. Pardon my French, but goddamn, you are an idiot, Matt Nagy.
Featuring Colton.
Good job, Bill. Golly. What a dope. You missed Brady. You made a mistake. Come out and say you messed up. Golly.
I love that intro. But
yeah.
I like the Goat Allen one a lot more. I really do.
You know,
I
could get into more Goat Allen in the Bills, but we'll get another one queued up. We'll get me going at some point, whether it's with Josh, with you, whatever it may be, and Goat Allen and the Bills will come back up. But man, Will, some interesting news here in the past few hours, huh?
Bombshell in Houston. I didn't even get the chance to look at my phone for the last, God, I don't even know, a couple hours, and all of a sudden I flick on Twitter before we get on here. And just the most significant news of all time, Deshaun Watson. I felt like we've been talking about this for the last, I don't even know how many days, but Deshaun Watson, apparently it's going to be going down. It's going to be going down to Miami, of all places. This felt like it's been talked about for the last 10 months. I feel like this has been talked about every single day. You know, the smoke disappears, then smoke comes back all over the place. And now Deshaun Watson might be becoming a Miami Dolphin as early as the end of the week. How much could they have given away? This is like the big question mark. How much did they give away for Deshaun Watson? That's what I have to think right here.
Well, the thing is, they don't have many assets. They don't have many draft picks. I think they're without theirs this year. That's a thing. They want 4 first-round draft picks. They might have came off that depending what players the Dolphins might have put into the deal. If they put one of their better corners in the deal, I don't think Houston's all in on getting any players other than like young talent. Like kind of like if you're trading with Jacksonville, like a Josh Allen, Miles Jack, possibly Henderson, who they ended up shipping to Carolina. The Dolphins really don't have that young talent where it's like, all right, cool, I'll take this guy, and this guy. It's this Watson thing is really interesting. I had Lee Steinberg on the Personal Foul podcast. It feels like 2 years ago, right?
Was it in January?
No, I think it might have been longer than that. It might have been January. See, well, you know more than me on this.
Yeah.
And I'm the one that interviewed him. I don't know, man. This whole thing is really, really weird. Now you got me going out here searching, see when I actually.
I got the clip up here, so we could honestly play that. I mean, this is all the way back in January. I mean, you got to interview probably one of the greatest sports reporters of all time. Well, not reporters, but like just agents, and I don't know why I went with reporters. Oh man, that's really bad. But just sports agents of all time. You know, he has the $500 million player in Kansas City, and just I want to get this clip going. So let's get this going here. Well, hold on. I gotta re-QC. I didn't share the audio on that one, so we're live. So this what makes it funny. This is what makes it good. All right, here we go. Now we got it. Oh.
Name that is mentioned is the Dolphins and Tua being possibly shipped to the Texans in a deal. That is stuff that is popping up again. I don't think it's going to happen. But what's it like, again, because you've had other players that have been involved in trades. What's it like, again, rookie, clearly going to be going into a second year, having a player's name like that tossed around in a hat where there's a lot of uncertainty? How do you handle that?
Well, first of all, understand that in all of these cases, we have direct relationships with the team. In other words, whether it's Stephen Ross at the Dolphins or Tom Garfinkel, their CEO, or their general manager, and none of that's being brought up with Tua and with us. So you can take these names and play match game with them, but the reality is, I think they got the quarterback they wanted in the draft.
It's kind of crazy. I wonder if we would double down on that one now as we're approaching a year on that. And that was awesome. That was probably one of the coolest things I've done. Got out to a lot of people, 18,000 views on that. Could have been more. That was really cool. I know that was kind of the topic going in around that time last year, which was pretty cool. And ironically, that's what stinks. I had breaking news. Like as you could tell, Tua didn't go anywhere, and he didn't go anywhere in the off season. So it's like, wow, oh cool, I had it. But yeah, it's man, really interesting stuff with Tua.
I love this photo so much.
Oh god, yeah. You know what? He ended up costing his team that game in Jacksonville. He came out of the gates good. Waddle looked really impressive. I mean, if Tua gets traded anywhere, Ryan, I think it ends up being in a deal to the Texans. They're getting a young player where they see some time for him to grow. I feel like that's part of the deal. It might be 3 first-round draft picks in Tua. I don't know, man. This is kind of crazy. Where this whole thing is, where this thing's gone.
I mean, I was gonna say this. I really think Tua could end up in a place like Washington, but if this somehow waits until the offseason, maybe he could go to Denver because Teddy Bridgewater's on a 1-year deal. But I'm not sure how well he could, fare in the cold. This is kind of like the big question mark. I think this trade does not go through until they have a potential other suitor for Tua, and I think Washington could fit that. But with Fitzpatrick, who's going to be coming back from injury, they're going to be having what was it, Taylor Heineke? He's now been repping up the starting stuff here. Just there's so much to hear, and does not work. Could be fun to fix. I mean, do you think the Dolphins are kicking themselves in the rear, having to see Justin Herbert just flourish in a place like the LA?
Yeah, but the thing is, LA
pick there.
has a lot more talent around Herbert. They addressed the offensive line in the offseason this year. And it it really brought up some better situation for him and is why he's flourishing. I had the pleasure of interviewing Michael Yam, who at the moment was working for the Pac-12 Network, which is where Justin Herbert came out of college, Oregon. So I talked to him, and I'm like, dude, how good is this kid going to be? Because that draft, there was a lot of talent out of the Pac-12, a lot of receivers, Laviska Shenault, Brandon Ayuk, and I'm forgetting the other name. There's another receiver that was drafted that season out of the Pac-12. And I asked him about Herbert. I'm like, what is he? What are we expecting? We saw the Dolphins as possible name for him. Where do you think he ends up going? What is the potential for him? He goes, Aaron Rodgers. The kid is going to be special in the league. And shout out to Michael Yam. He's right now working for the NFL Network. And he hit the nail on the head on this one. He's been great. I mean, golly, he's been really good. And, Broncos, I think they're going to ride out the Teddy Bridgewater train, see how that works out.
Right.
This trade goes through. That takes
Luck.
one team off. If this trade goes through, that takes one team off the Aaron Rodgers carousel. So I'm cool with it. I'm totally cool with it. If he goes to the Dolphins, but yeah, well, what are your kind of like thoughts on this whole thing? Because I've talked plenty of it. I heard my talk with Lee there, and I wonder if you'd double down on that now. What he would say?
As a Jeff fan, I'm kind of like, let's not have Watson in the division. I know a lot of Dolphins fans at the moment, they're upset. They're kind of like, why are we trading for him? We don't know what's going to be happening. There's 22 sexual assault charges on him, and he's just kind of getting paid every week by the Texans to be inactive. This is kind of a big, like, what's going to happen? Will he get suspended? Will these charges come up? These are just big questions that we're looking at right now. As Ryan Fitzpatrick, when Tua walks into the room, I thought you were dead. Uh I I uh I think it's going to be very hard to trade away Tua. It's going to be what kind of value can you get from Tua? Because you're obviously you can't send them back to the team that you're going to be trading Watson with. You're going to be doing just a different trade somewhere else to kind of get him out of
Yeah,
the
but
way.
my thought is they can trade him back to the Texans. Build around Tua, see what he is. I mean, golly, what was he taking? Third overall, whatever it was for the
Fifth overall.
Dolphins. Fifth, I mean, top 5 pick. It's one of those things. The Texans are in rebuild mode. See what Tua is for a year or two, and he doesn't work out. Cool, you got freaking 4 draft picks for Deshaun Watson. You can go draft another quarterback. The Texans have plenty of other needs, so they can literally, take a few seasons. They'll be bad if they're going to be bad, and they'll have their shot at any quarterback they desire, or they draft one this season with one of those picks if this trade does go through. Actually, to be fair, like I just said, the Dolphins don't have a first-round draft pick this year, so they would not get the Dolphins pick. Do they even have a first-round draft pick, the Texans?
They have their own. This is the
They have
first
their
year
own.
that they have one. That
Finally,
they
okay.
have
All
their own.
right. I wasn't sure if they
The
were
only
all an abyss.
the only pick I think the Dolphins have is San Francisco's first round pick, and that kind of depends where will San Francisco land in the draft spectrum. Will they be a playoff team? Will they miss the playoffs? Or will they just kind of be like falling off the beaten path? But I don't think they'll be off the beaten path. I still think the 49ers could be in the playoff hunt, maybe potentially a wild card spot team. Just kind of depends with the injuries. Will Jimmy G be playing? Will Trey Lance be getting more playing time? That's kind of the situation over there. So it's going to be where will that draft pick go? Because the Eagles have the Miami's first round pick, the actual Miami first round pick.
Yeah, this whole thing's kind of just nuts. I'll believe when I see it. I'm kind of over this whole thing. Like we kind of said, this thing's been talked about for a very long time. Figure I talked about this going on a year in January with Lee. So it kind of tells you how big of a conversation that was at that moment in time because Tua struggles with the Dolphins and Deshaun Watson's name was thrown out there. Now it's a bigger wrinkle with the allegations that are thrown at him. And again, folks, nothing's been, you know, yeah, he did it. No, we didn't. It's allegations. Like you don't know. Would I trade for him? No. With that many numbers, probably not until that whole thing's cleared up. But the fact that we haven't heard anything on the matter is kind of still crazy. That like it was like the whole offseason was all like Watson, Watson, Watson. Now it's like, all right,
We haven't heard anything the last
we
couple
haven't
months
had
besides
anything.
him. The
Weird.
last time we really heard of Watson was walking off a practice field in August, and that was kind of the last time the NFL cameras have seen him. So
Yeah,
this is
the whole thing's
this is
weird.
just a situation to watch. Like, obviously he wants to play somewhere that's not Houston. So this is going to be what's going to happen after this. So maybe we'll be talking about this again kind of later on. Who knows? But also, let's kind of stick with Houston. Houston released a couple veterans during, Monday's kind of releasement thing. I don't know what you want to call it, but Andre Roberts, kick returner, receiver, kind of football player, Cordero Patterson type guy, he got cut, and Whitney Merciless, linebacker, who's been there for a decade essentially, also was cut. Both of them got picked up. Roberts was picked up by the LA Chargers. And meanwhile, Smith goes all the way to Green Bay. Well, Merciless signs with Green Bay. Now, this kind of leads me with the question of the other Smith brother. I mean, they got Preston Smith, and then they have one that got hurt. I'm drawing a blank on his name right now.
Zadarius.
Do you think this is a kind of concern that Zadarius is not going to be playing again this year? So they're kind of just acquiring linebackers as they can in order to, kind of fill that role in case Zadarius does not come back for the remainder of this year.
I think he's coming back, Zadarius, in the future at some point. When exactly, I don't know if they have a date on it. Well, the Packers are interesting, man. They're a contender. Again, this is all things that don't help Aaron Rodgers specifically on offense, which is always hilarious with Green Bay. There's a lot of moves here. There's a lot of we'll see. Again, we have another segment coming up here. We'll see what other sprinkles lead into the future for a lot of NFL teams that are contenders. Yeah, I just we'll see what happens with these few moves. I know we had a graphic just up with Andre Roberts going to the
Jets
Chargers.
legend.
Yeah, we'll see how that works out. Another kind of like Travis Benjamin type of player, which they had there for a few seasons. Um, yeah, Merciless is really good. He's really, really good. Fills that void in that Green Bay has kind of been missing at linebacker. So we'll see. Does he have experience on the inside? Why do I feel like he's played inside a little bit, or am I confusing him with
He
someone?
probably played a little bit, but I want to say he's just been an outside linebacker for the better part of his career.
Well, alrighty. Well, I thought I might be confusing with. They have a huge dude that just makes a ton of tackles, but
Cunningham.
yes, that's what I'm confusing him with. So we'll see. We'll see what they do with him if they try to slot him inside. If he did have any reps there to kind of fill in that Blake Martinez role, because they've desperately missed that kind of role. People have gutted them in the run game for a long time, Green Bay. So we'll see what happens. It makes their defense better. They're missing some corners, so that kind of should have been their need. We'll see what they do.
And well, let's kind of go into a little bit like a sadder part of the show. So Paul Salata, if you watch the NFL draft day 3, if you love the NFL draft besides rounds 1 and most of 2 and some of 3, you kind of watch like the end of the draft, you'll see this guy that comes out onto the stage with the Mr. Irrelevant jersey, Mr. number 256, 255. I feel like the numbers have changed every year, but he is the creator of the Mr. Irrelevant trophy. He passed away over the weekend at age 94. He would treat these players to a trip to Newport Beach, Disneyland, a golf tournament, a feast of their choosing, and he would make a trophy for them called the Lozman Trophy, which would mimic the Heisman Trophy. He would treat these guys, no one cares about the last pick in the draft, but he made sure that they felt welcomed. He gave them a week with their family over in California, just enjoying life, kind of like, hey, you were brought up into the NFL. Here you are, former Trojan. I believe he played with the Lion. Well, I forgot where he ended up playing. I believe he played with the Colts, and then the Colts ended up folding. And then there's a whole situation with this. I forgot the exact key components for where he played with in the NFL, but yeah, that's him. So to the Salata family, our thoughts and prayers are with you on this kind of heartfelt day for a legend that gives a lot of these players, these young guys out of college, just like whoever the last pick is, just like a sentimental moment, like, hey, we made it this far. Thank you for choosing us. And he kind of shows them off with ease. A new little segment that Colton and I are going to be talking about, the crystal ball segment. So obviously, everyone looks in the crystal ball like, oh my God, what's my future going to hold? Am I going to get rich? Am I going to go poor? No, we're talking about football here. Okay. The trade deadline is in 2 weeks. Yeah, it's coming up. It's coming up fast. And well, Colton and I, we're going to be picking some players that we could see get moved to different, change of scenery kind of area, all sorts of good, fun stuff there. So, Colton, who do you have with your kind of crystal ball? Who do you see kind of moving eventually? Or maybe you
Marcus
want to see
May.
moved?
Marcus May, your boy from the Jets. I probably stole your thunder on this one.
Oh, yeah,
Because what you got to
definitely.
think of when it comes to these trades are teams that are on expiring contracts and teams that are on the bottom half of things, or they think they're going to be on the bottom half of things. And that's where you start seeing some moves coming from. And Marcus May is clearly one that comes right to the front here. Dallas to shore up the back end because, I mean, geez, the secondary looks really good already. Can they secure the back end a little bit more, bringing in a guy like Marcus May? That's a team. The Buccaneers need a lot of help in the secondary. They could be another team. Um, I think Marcus May is probably guaranteed. Like that's like a 95% he's going to get moved. I'm assuming at the deadline.
I think he could get moved. I mean, a lot of wants to go to like a contender, so I could see him going to a place like, you know, the Buccaneers. Maybe go to, well, a lot of people brought up the Rams, but I feel like the Rams want to save up draft capital for whatever they have left. I don't even know what they have left. I'm be surprised if they have any picks going into the draft this year. But save up whatever they have. I don't know. I don't see them going to the Rams. I really don't. But highest graded safety, 82.9 in 2020. Mr. Butt interception that he had. The anniversary was a day or two ago. The NFL posted that. But Something to look at though for the Jets. He had a DUI, DWI back in February, kind of went unnoticed, and all of a sudden it came out now. He's dealing with an ankle injury, but he's nearing his return to what was it, the field. So this is gonna be something to look at for moving forward, essentially. But one player I want to look at though, Brandon Cooks. Why not just Texans just throw away everything? Why not give away Brandon Cooks? Bring him to a guy. I mean, this man has been traded away everywhere from the Saints to New England to the LA Rams to the Texans. Why not just go on another journey? I think this team could honestly he could pull off the Fitzpatrick train. I think he could go wherever he wants. And obviously he will go to a contender. Obviously. But a place that would be interesting. A place that would be interesting. I mean, I wouldn't see him going like in division to the Colts or something like that. But
Green Bay is a team that, again, can they give Rodgers another weapon with Adams? It would have sticks out like a sore thumb, or you could see him packaged to the Dolphins. Why not the Dolphins take Watson and him? I know they have Fuller and Parker. Guess what? Wow, shocker, they're hurt. Who would have thought? Surprise, surprise. Bring them in. Get another guy. It doesn't hurt. I don't see what the that not being a decision being made by the.
Or could you see something like the 49ers? I mean, they got a lot of like smaller guys in their system. Why not bring another speedy guy to fit their needs in their system? Give Jimmy G kind of like his going out party, essentially.
Oh gosh.
Would you see something like that?
We possibly. I don't see it because they got Deebo Samuel and Brandon Ayuk. I don't see them bringing in a veteran guy like that. We do have a question on here, though. He wants the Jets, Joe Hack, friend, Jet fan, wants to see the Jets trade. Oh, my gosh. Marcus May to the LA Rams for his favorite player, Jake Funk. He's a big Jake Funk guy at a USC.
Maryland product.
Is that where he is? Maryland?
Maryland product. I'll know a Maryland player when I see one.
Oh, God. So he always complains I don't answer his question. There you go, Joe. But yeah, Marcus May, I think, gets moved. Brandon Cooks is another. If anyone else has any players that can come to mind that should be moved, drop them below. We'll get to them. But yeah, I just, yeah, he really is. He really is like a hidden gem there. He's been great. I didn't think he was gonna be good. I didn't touch him in any fantasy leagues. I'm like, dude, no way in heck I'm playing this guy, touching him in any way. I just don't know who he was gonna be, and he's been great. So hats off to Brandon Cooks. He's a really good receiver. Problem is he's always banged up.
Another player I could see, I mean, the Eagles traded away Zach Ertz last Friday for a 5th-round pick and a guy that kind of said F the Eagles, and kind of now he's a Philadelphia Eagle. Funny. But why not just trade away another, legend of the team? Why not give away Jason Kelce? I know this is going to be a far-fetched trade, but Jason Kelce could get another ring. I mean, he is Philadelphia. I mean, come on. He dressed up in that whole gimmick for the Super Bowl parade. I don't even know what he dressed up as, but it makes it so much better because I don't know what it is. So it puts a smile on my face knowing I don't know what he dressed up as. But, I mean, he wants to finish his career. Zach Ertz wanted to finish his career. Why not kind of go out of the way? Kind of send him to a contender. I mean, again, I can't think of anyone off the dome right now that can suit him, but this could be someone that could get traded near the deadline if injuries do arise. I mean, there is 2 weeks. We got, 30 games, 28 games. Yeah, 28 games till the trade deadline, reaches us. So this could be another big name that could get moved. And I mean, the Eagles could just acquire so many draft picks at this point. Just rebuild. Let them all build.
Yeah, but the problem is if you do that, that means you're like, how are you going to get a real good look at Jalen Hurts if you trade away the line? They're getting Lane Johnson back here hopefully very soon.
Yeah, he's back. He's been dealing with some mental health stuff, so I give him props for what he's been going through.
Absolutely. It's just, oh God. Yeah, I don't know.
What about Miles Sanders? Okay, I don't even know how the Eagles are even using Miles Sanders.
That is a name I can actually.
They're giving Gainwell all these carries, and all of a sudden Sanders has like 1 carry, 3 carries in like a first half. Like,
see, that's a
what?
name. That's a very interesting one, Will. That's one that's not going to be out in public because people aren't going to like think of it. That's not a bad play. They do love Gainwell. I believe he's out of Memphis. They're, I believe, 5th or 6th round draft pick. I can honestly see that happening for sure.
I mean, there's a lot of places too. Also, Marlon Mack's a guy that could get moved by the trade deadline. And there's another running back too. I'm drawing a blank on it. There's Marlon
Nyheim
Mack.
Hines?
Yeah, no, Hines?
Yeah, Nyheim Hines.
No,
isn't it?
Marlon Mack came out and said he wants to get traded. He's only there on a 1-year deal for like $2 million. So all you got to do is just pick up the other half of that contract, and you'll be set to go. But there's another running back. I'm drawing a blank on Ronald Jones of Tampa Bay.
I'm cool, bro. I'm so glad I drafted the right guy on Leonard Fournette. My goodness.
Oh, that was probably the best late pick.
Don't put the football on the ground, Rojo, and you might get some playing time. But yeah, Fournette's been an absolute dog. I'm trying to really think of some other names. Like the Steelers aren't in like sell mode. And if they were in sell mode, what are their guys already got hurt that they possibly could have shipped away in Juju Smith-Schuster? Gosh, I really can't think of any other teams at the moment other than like the Jags. Like you got to think of the dumpster fire teams. Like I don't know what Detroit has to offer. Like they cut Jamie Collins, he goes to the Patriots. Yeah,
They could be in the they could be in the a receiver, but they're not playing for anything. They're 0-6. I kind of would already put them at like eliminated in playoff contention.
yeah, for sure.
I know you're not eliminated till it's mathematically possible, but it's Detroit we're talking about. They're probably one of the most the hardest football team to really like game plan for because they really put themselves in the field every single week, and they just are the most unlucky group of people.
See, I really want the Jets to trade for Jake Funk. I know Joe's out here in the comments on Twitter. My goodness, he's on our show on here, and he's just all in on the Eagles trading for Jake Funk to have a really good rookie running back duo. It's just, I had to FaceTime him at the game. I was at the Giants LA game, and he's sitting here. He was sitting here and dropped. I FaceTime him. I'm like, yo, Jake Funk's right in front of me returning a kick, and this kid was ecstatic. So he's really all in on Jake Funk. So if the Jets were to somehow trade for him, it clearly wouldn't happen because of Michael Carter. But my God, this kid would probably like run through a brick wall or something. But yeah,
and maybe even a tight end to Buffalo knocks out at least 3 weeks. I mean, or he could play with the cast on his hand, JPP style, just get like the bulb over his hand. I mean, he'd be playing one hand, so that wouldn't really be fair.
No, they did trade it, or they let go of Tyler Croft, who was there a few years back, a tight end that
to the Jets.
There, yeah.
And you know what? Why doesn't Buffalo trade for a former Jet tight end that's now in Minnesota? Chris Herndon, who caught one of his first passes this week against Carolina.
Yeah, there's a lot. This might be a thing I look into a little bit more next week to see who loses this upcoming weekend and who kind of like, it's gonna getting out of hand as far as their reach for a playoff spot. You might see some teams going to buy mode, like Cincinnati. If the Bengals somehow win against Baltimore this weekend, you can see them going out and making a move. I can see the Bengals go out and what do they need? Off the top of my head, I don't know, but I could seriously see them going out and making a move. Bengals
Trey Hendricks, they hit a home run on their free agency class. Trey Hendricks has been on fire. 5.5 sacks. He's been killing it. For a guy that only played less than 50% of the snaps last year in New Orleans, he's been going out. He's been killing it every single week.
I've had people like messaging me since I'm a Steeler fan, all this, that, and the other. I write for Steeler Nation, big AFC North guy. They're like, why are the Bengals so good? I'm like, it's the defense, man. That defense, they put a lot of money into it. Trey Hendrickson, Mike Hilton. Do they have Sheldon Richardson? They have someone on the line.
Sheldon Richardson's over in Cleveland, I want to say.
But
they did pick up 2 former Cleveland defensive tackles. We talked about this with way back when. DJ Reader.
They brought in someone on the line that's been really good. The defense, man, that's kind of what it is. So hats off to those guys in Cincinnati. We'll see if they can hold it up. They have one of the tougher schedules up there with Pittsburgh. So we'll see how they finish out. They got a tough game this weekend to see how good they are. So we'll see with the Bengals.
And also Jamar Chase, he figured out how to catch the football too. I feel like he trolled us. He trolled us so hard.
That's it. Thank you, Ryan. Larry Ogunjobi. That's the name I'm looking for. That's the guy.
That's
He's
my
been really good for
favorite
them.
name too, Larry Ogunjobi.
Yeah,
It's
I
just a fun
mean,
name. It's like Humanawi from the Patriots way
ugh,
back when.
stop it. See, but yeah, we'll see next week. We'll touch on a little bit more trade deadline stuff. See how teams do this weekend. That's kind of what it comes down to, and we'll go from there.
We are being asked to do some hot takes. Do you got any hot takes on your Colton?
Hot takes from me.
You know what? I'm gonna go with the hot take. Okay, I have the jersey. Well, it's over here with the other jerseys, but Sam Darnold's gonna finish the top 10 quarterback this year. Okay, I don't care at this rate. Phone's ringing. I don't really care, but Sam Darnold's finishing as a top 10 quarterback this year. Okay, I'm on the Sammy D train. I'm not gonna tell you what I've done with the Sammy D train, but Sam Darnold, he's probably one of the greatest. I mean, I wish the Jets kept him. It's an Abgaze effect.
Oh my God! Please stop it.
This phone's just going off. I am so over it. I could get up and just turn it off, but Sam Darnold, top 10 quarterback. He's finishing the season as that. Christian McCaffrey returns. He's going to be lights out, and he's gonna. You know what? He's going to be a top 5 quarterback this weekend. He's going to finish top 5 fantasy points. I'm starting him because Justin Herbert's on the bye week, so kind of angled for time. But Sam Darnold, he's going to be great. He's going to be a special player, man.
Why will you not let the Sam Darnold thing go? You literally just won't let it go. It's very unfortunate. You got me at a loss for words. For me, hot take. It's got to be if the Dolphins get Watson this week, the Dolphins make the playoffs. The Dolphins will make the playoffs if they get Deshaun Watson and he plays next week. If they got to win this week.
I feel like that would be too soon. I feel like that would be way too soon. He doesn't have enough time to learn the playbook. Yes, Darnold will finish top 5. I'm starting Darnold in fantasy too, so I'm okay with that. Playing the Giants, easy money. Robbie Anderson and Darnold return to MetLife. Yes, write that up. We're doing it straight away.
And another hot take: the Bengals will somehow make the playoffs. That's my other one. If the Dolphins do get Watson, they'll find themselves in a wild card. I think they'll be the 7th seed. And if for me, the other one, if the Bengals are competitive this weekend, they're going to be a wild card team. And I don't see why not, because the Ravens are hot, man. I mean, yeah, I know our guy behind the scenes here, Ryan's a Ravens fan, and my goodness.
I got my Ed Reed here. I got my Ed Reed jersey here for you, okay?
They keep making things happen where it's like, you got to take them seriously.
I sold off on him before the season even started.
And I guess, oh my God.
That also brings up that meme, too, where it's like, Joe Burrow passing the football, then you got Penei Sewell blocking, and it's anyone down the field, and it's Joe Burrow on his back, and then, anyone blocking, Jamar Chase with the hand up. That's one of my favorite memes from the offseason. That's like a historic meme.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Their line hasn't been that awful. That's what's kind of crazy. The Bengals, might have figured it out. I hate saying that because they've been a dysfunctional franchise, and it's been like, oh, cool. I love picking on the Bengals here. And the Ravens are a serious Super Bowl contender. Is definitely another one. If they didn't make that clear already, I can see the Ravens in the AFC title game. I never thought I'd ever say that because I'm not terrified of Lamar. Dude, until otherwise proven, I could see them playing the Bills in the title game. I seriously can't.
I think it's the Bills titles game. I think AFC's running through Buffalo, unless the Chiefs kind of get their get it together.
Right now it's the Ravens. I didn't love the play call going for it. I know ESPN showed a number was 49% if they went for it and got it, that they were going to win the game, or if they just took the field goal, it was 47%. I would have kicked the field goal. I get they couldn't stop Derrick Henry to save their life. But you win the toss, you're going to win the game, the way I look at it. So it's 50-50. I didn't like going for it. I know it was 4th and an inch, and you got Josh Allen, and if he doesn't slip it, he gets it. I still don't love the play call. Something like that cost you a game. But I also love the aggression of Buffalo doing it. So, yeah, right here we got this from Coach McDermott, who was our Coach of the Year. In our early rankings. So that's so
that was your Coach of the Year.
Yeah, Harbaugh though.
I
Yeah,
can also still put a case too for Brandon Staley of the Chargers.
yeah, for sure. We'll see how they bounce back. That might have been also the whole
East Coast.
traveling West Coast, East Coast thing, and they got shellacked. Also, some ballsy play calling. I thought they kind of like got desperate really early in that game, going for it deep in their territory, and he was off. Again, he has every right to have an off game.
No
He's
one's
still a
perfect.
game guy, and yeah, it happens. It definitely happens. So
And that's why, he gets to be on the football field and we just are two dudes talking about them playing on the football field. I bet Ryan was happy with this. I really bet he was happy with this score.
yeah, it's they were really good, and Ryan was dropping in the comments they can't stop the run. The Chargers they're very weak up front. Other than Joey Bosa, it's kind of a lot of question marks since they lost Melvin Ingram on that front. So, and the Ravens exploited it, and golly, every damn running back scored this weekend. Seriously, so we'll see.
CBS
Yeah,
took that off the air?
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Oh my.
See,
Well, you
I
see, I
didn't.
was doing that Rams game, so I had to I kept on making highlights every
I
30
was
seconds
I
for that
was
game.
at the Rams game, so yeah, I definitely didn't know. That's crazy. See, I would have been pissed with that too. So
It's not the first time a Ravens game has been taken off the air. There's another time too. I believe they played the Texans. It was like 2012, 2013. It was like 44-3 in like the third quarter, and they just sent you to a different game. They're like, "Yeah, we can't have this on the air anymore. We got to get the fans back on CBS."
see, like I hate when they do that though. It's like, all right, cool. They're blowing the doors off this team. I want to see the Ravens finish the job. Like, I want to see them dismantle the Chargers. Like, that's a really good football team. Like, people are gonna be like, holy crap, look what the Ravens are doing. It's like it makes no sense to take teams off unless backups are in and stuff. I didn't watch the game. I was clear at the LA Rams game, but yeah, Lamar's legit, man. He's definitely kind of earned my respect a little bit more this season. I know I've kind of like made
I'll
fun of
put
him.
him in the.
I've poked fun at him a lot over the past few seasons. I'm like, oh, dude, please pay him, Ravens. I'm not really terrified of him, and he's proven me wrong. So good for Lamar and the Ravens, and we'll see how this train continues for them as they hope. Are they at Cincinnati? I think they're at Cincinnati this weekend.
I mean, he'll put him on ice skates again, like he did all the way back in 2018, the MVP run, where he just did a spin cycle.
Oof. See, so that's a guaranteed lock, Ravens. So yeah, we're gonna give you an early prediction for when we get to that. Yeah, you can give me the Ravens.
Let's go into overreacting week 6. I mean, we've been talking about so much stuff this episode, but like one take you want to overreact on. Well, I'll start first. I'll stick with the Sam Darnold train though, but I mean, Robbie Anderson. Well, I'll stick with the Panthers and Vikings game. Robbie Anderson got targeted 11 times, but only brought in 3 passes for 11 yards, I want to say, and it was for a score. He played terrible football. I mean, he just got paid too, so obviously, as we said, you can always have a down game wherever you're going, but just I don't know what was going on there. I mean, they didn't have the lead at any point, I believe. They played from behind in the second half, definitely, but besides that too, Kirk Cousins, he's playing some of his best football, man. 2 players had 3 drops in week 6, DJ Moore and Robbie Anderson. And I unfortunately have Robbie Anderson in my league, and I should have traded him away when the value was at like its ultimate high, and I could have gotten a lot more draft capital from that. But also Kirk Cousins, man has passed. I think he's like 6th since last year. He's 6th in yards. He's going off right now. He's going off. I have to pull up this stat because this was just absolutely mind-boggling for me. Here it is. Let me see. Let me get my screen up here. But look at these stats, man. Come on. I think he's underrated.
Yeah,
since last year, 6,304 passing yards, more than Aaron Rodgers, 48 passing TDs, more than Matt Stafford, 5 game-winning drives, tied for 5th, more than Mahomes, 68.2 completion percentage, 8th, and a 105.1 passer rating, and that's better than Tom Brady. And this goes back from the start of last year. Oh my Lord. I think people have to stop sleeping on Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, as his
12
graphic said,
TDs, 2 interceptions on the year. Do you like that? Let's get the. Do you like that? You like that? Come on, let's bring that in.
Yeah, I mean, as this graphic says, he went from the most overrated quarterback to probably the most underrated, to be honest with you. But yo, overreaction. It's not even really an overreaction. LA's gonna win the Super Bowl. Man, it was kind of nuts watching them live. Oh my goodness. Man, the Rams are good. It's not really an overreaction, but like I guess you could say overreaction. They're gonna win the Super Bowl because the NFC's got some really good teams. But my goodness, man, watching them live was kind of nuts. Some of those balls, holy crap, from Stafford.
I mean, he only played 2 good quarters. The first quarter, he didn't really play that well. Leonard Williams beat him up a lot, but he played 2 really good quarters, and I'm so glad I got to game cut a Rams game because like I now can just see this team and it's just scary.
Bro, that like
I gotta say though, one of my
post-
favorite headlines though I got to make from that game was Taylor Rapp. He got a Daniel Jones third interception. I was like, Taylor Rapp reads Daniel Jones like a book for Giants' 4th turnover. That was one of my
Yeah, that
favorite
was
headlines I got to
Daniel
write.
Jones had probably one of his worst games, but staying on the Rams, I mean, golly, dude, that ball he threw to Cooper Kupp on that like out route kind of thing. Holy crap, dude! I'm like, my dad's like, holy crap, like how to catch? I'm like, what a ball! I'm like, dude, did you see that pass? I'm like, holy crap! And then when I saw that hope, I'm like, yeah, the guy's different.
Unorthodox touchdown. That was the key word I had to put in that headline. Well, I
Yeah,
was given that headline. I didn't get to write that one.
I kind of I'm backtracking a little bit. If you go early on in the season, I was like, I wish I kind of taken back on like the whole Stafford thing. Like, maybe it's kind of overrated. Stafford, the trade. Nope. I was right the whole time. Dude, the guy's legit. Good for Stafford. My goodness. Holy crap. Some of those balls are crazy. I know he had a no-look pass to Cooper Kupp on one of his touchdowns.
That was
Watch
crazy.
that. I'm sitting. It's like holy crap! Like he's really good at football. That man. Like there's no questioning it. Like he's good at football.
Let's go into the top games of players of week 6. Obviously, I think you might want to stick with the Rams game because there was no one on that offense that had a bad game at all. Everyone played exceptionally well.
Yeah, you can just. I'll just ride that Cooper Kupp train. I posted a touchdown, tried to get the NFL to jump on it or the Rams to jump on it from like a fan view. Got a great video of Cooper Kupp scoring a touchdown right in front of me, so that was pretty cool. But yeah, I got to stick with Cooper Kupp. My God, I got torched by him in multiple leagues, so that was quite painful. But yeah, Cooper Kupp was gross. Seriously, he's one of the best oh my gosh, can't even speak. Best receivers in the game, if not like he's up there. Like we say, Devontae Adams, dude. Cooper Kupp is really, really good at getting open, and he's just a smart football player. Like that touchdown, like he had no real estate, but he somehow got that ball into his stomach where that ball is over the plane, and no questions. I'm like, I watched that live. I'm saying like, I wonder if he got it in. They didn't look at him like, holy crap. IQ, he's just really good at football, man. What about you, Will? What do you got as your top performers this weekend?
I mean, I got to go off my fantasy team. I got to thank Khalil Herbert of the Chicago Bears. I'm down so bad in running backs. I had to pick up a guy off the streets, and I'm like, please, just Khalil Herbert, just get me something. Please, I'm not asking for a lot, just something, a little bit. And I mean, 97 yards, a touchdown, first start in the NFL. You can't say anything else. But also, let's go back to Thursday night though. Leonard Fournette's the real deal right now in Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay, playoff Lenny. I mean, it's obviously playoff Lenny, not playoff Lenny right now, but regular season Lenny. He's good. He's really good at football. And I don't think the Buccaneers can ask for anything more. I mean, he catches. He can run the ball 30 points in fantasy this past week, 2 touchdowns, a little over 81 yards, couple of yards through the air. You can't think. I'm losing words right now, but you can't ask for anything more from Leonard Fournette. Dude
Yeah,
has played phenomenal.
he's been great ever since the Super Bowl. They've kind of like they wanted to give
Even the
Rojo
playoff run too.
yeah, they're trying to give him the opportunity, Rojo, to kind of get his foot in the door, and Fournette is like, yeah, no, this is mine, and I'm not letting you have it. Bernard clearly comes in on those third down and long situations. But man, Fournette, I'm like, oh God, please just continue to catch the football out of the backfield because it gives another layer to his game and it helps me in fantasy. And he's been great. So another solid pick there in Fournette for sure.
And let's go into top games of the week. What's some of your what's a game or two you want to pick from your top game?
Yeah, Gregory. Yeah, he was great. That's my cousin there. He was great, and I was very glad I got the opportunity to have him with that 30 piece. I wish I had him in more leagues. That is something I regret. Top games though, that Seattle game, Seattle Steelers. It got a little dicey at the end, and Captain Clutch, come on! Oh, Moneybag Watt made a play. I'm so happy the Steelers got that man locked up. Geno Smith, it was interesting there. And Alex Collins, former Raven, guy always seems to run well against Pittsburgh, and he was good. He was great for them. What the heck did he do? Tap dancing lessons, I think he did, and that's what helped him get his balance and all that. So that's kind of interesting. Yeah, see, I'm all in talking Steelers. Ryan, pop that question up here. He's really good this season. I know he's the highest graded defensive player in the NFL this season. He's finally getting the respect that he so much deserves. I'm all in on Cam. I know I have a signed thing. Oh, there he is. He's back over there. Signed photo of him. He's been great. This is definitely his best season in the NFL. And he's had a lot of really good seasons. He's been great, dude. I mean, batting every ball down. He's doing the dirty work without his right-hand man, Stephon Tuitt, next to him. He's been great, man, and I'm glad that he's finally getting some respect. But, man, that Seattle game was great. And TJ showed up when necessary. Got double, triple teamed on that play. Came back around. Thank you. Give me that. And he was great. Well, what about you, top games?
I mean, I got to watch this game after the fact. I had a game cut the Rams game because I was able to flick on Red Zone while I was cutting some other highlights. Also, why not also talk about some Seahawks stuff? Jacob Eason returns to Washington, claimed by Seattle. So
Really? That's interesting.
yeah, so I think the Cam Newton talks there are done. But what game I got to watch, and I thoroughly enjoyed the final 5 minutes and overtime. The Vikings and Carolina game. Darnold having to come back 98-yard drive to tie the game, 2-point conversion.
You are in love with this kid for some Lord knows what reason.
Oh
You're
my
like
God.
you're like my buddy with Romo. He didn't win anything. He hasn't done anything for the Jets. He did not Romo did nothing for the Cowboys other than just being Romo and all this, that, and the other. Go on. I'm just oh God.
Listen,
Yes,
Darnold drove down the field, tied it up, 2-point conversion and all, and then overtime comes. And Kirk Cousins, I watched this drive. This was Kirk Cousins' best drive he's ever performed in his professional career. Next to, the 24-point deficit that he had to come back from in 2015 with the Buccaneers and the Redskins that were named at one point. But he came back. And if you look at the game-sealing touchdown pass, he could have threw it underneath to Thielen, who was 7-8 yards off the line. But instead, he took a risk and threw it to Osborne all the way in the corner, really next to no room. And Osborne, career day, might I add, he made this play. And honestly, I gotta jump on the Kirk Cousins train because this man, I might have to buy his jersey. I'm getting a little too restless here. I might have to buy his jersey here. I need a Vikings jersey, so why not buy it? I already have 15 jerseys. Why not do it? Yeah, Osborne, 6 catches, 78 yards, and the game-winning touchdown. Why not?
Will, you're a funny guy. I'm glad I get to do this show with you and hear your I feel like there's always going to be Jets talk or what's it called? Darnold
Just
talk.
Darnold.
I feel like that's kind of your forte. I can guarantee something's going to be brought up Darnold wise, and surprise, you couldn't stay off of him. You had to come back to him. But yeah, it was a good game. And again, like you said before, probably the most underrated quarterback in football right now is Kirk Cousins. I mean, he's been legit, dude. He's been dealing. I know Gregory is saying they're low key good. They're not low key. They're high key good. It's enough of sleeping on them. They're legit, dude. The Vikings are legit.
They were a field goal away from beating the Cardinals. They were also mere points away. Well, I think another field goal from beating the Bengals.
Yeah, it was a missed field
goal. And a pass interference away. This team could be a 6-0 team. They had that pass interference against the Browns very late in the game.
Should have beat the Bengals. I think it was a missed field goal at the end. It was a chippy too, and they lost. So Yeah, I mean, sometimes teams are lucky, and some teams are very unfortunate, and we've seen plenty of Minnesota kicking mishaps. So
And let's go into the prediction portion of the thing. I got a graphic that's going to appear on the bottom. So at some point, there it is. See, Colton, I spend my time on Mondays making this stuff. So last week I beat out Colton on the week 9-5 compared to 8-6. Colton somehow has a 1-game lead, and Colton has had a lead since week 3 of last year. He has not let me be in the lead at any point since week 3 last year.
I gave you some
So
opportunity
can
to
I?
catch up. I gave you some. You have, but you caught up a little bit. I'm gonna have to stop giving some games away, and I'm gonna have to stampede away again. It's my goal now.
So can I end my Jacksonville Jaguars streak of 20 straight weeks of not winning? Can I finally get a win going into week number 7? That is the question here. 14 games going on, as now the Panthers are expected to sign Amir Abdullah per Ian Rappaport. So that's
The
going to be something
Panthers, you
there.
just said that?
The Panthers,
Oh,
yes.
God. See, now I got Chuba Hubbard. I don't like any of this conversation. Please stop it. Like, you already killed me with the CMC stuff. Stop it. Like, please stay away.
So let's look into the games this weekend. Let's see. The Denver Broncos at the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, you can give me the Broncos. Dude, it's a must-win for both teams. I think the injuries, though, for Cleveland catches up to them this weekend, and it's a must-win for the Broncos, dude. It's been free falling. You can cue the song because they have been free falling, them and the Panthers included.
I am not picking the Broncos. The Broncos are giving me so much heartbreak. This goes back to my days of delinquent betting, 1-800-GAMBLER. And I can never pick them to ever win a football game ever again. I don't even care if they're favorited. I cannot ever pick them. So I am going with the Cleveland Browns on this one. Let's see. Panthers at Giants. Should I fill you in for the sweep here?
I don't know where you think I'm going with this. I'm going with the Giants.
Yeah.
I think the Giants get a win. Panthers have looked ugly, dude. I mean, yeah, I got to go with the Giants, man.
I'm gonna have to go with Carolina. I cannot go against Sam Darnold's homecoming to MetLife, and I know you're gonna be all not about that.
Am I surprised you taking Darnold? I mean, they should win Carolina, but I can't take them. Like, they played a really good team. Yeah, that's right, Gregory. I think the Giants keep it close. At the same time, I also thought the Giants were going to keep it close against the Rams. I had people like, yo, like, some guy come up, yo, what's the play today? Giants money line. I'm like, absolutely not. If I'm not touching the game, I said, if anything, I'm playing the spread at 10, and I'm glad I didn't touch any because it was absolute mayhem at MetLife. But yeah, it's getting there really interesting in New York. The seat's starting to get a little toasty there for Joe Judge and company. So I think
It's about time.
I think the Giants get a win here.
I'll be going with Carolina. I think I already said that though. But let's see. Another New York one. The Jets at New England.
Do you give me the Patriots? I don't love the Patriots at all this season. I'm glad I wasn't on the love fest that everyone else and their mother was. As you saw in the intro, I gotta take the Pats.
I'm gonna match you with the Pats as well. I can't pick the Jets in New England. I cannot. Game of the 1 o'clock hour: Kansas City Chiefs at the Tennessee Titans.
I'm gonna take Kansas City. Oh man, I gotta take Kansas City. They're gonna write off a huge win in Buffalo. Were you trying to slide me there? Were you hoping to get one on me? I gotta take what's it called? I gotta take KC.
It was either if you take one, I was gonna take the other. So you took Kansas City. I'll take Tennessee.
Where's that game at?
In Tennessee, in Nashville.
Ooh, see, that's interesting. And they cannot stop the run.
They can't stop anything on defense.
God, I'm gonna go Kansas City just because I think it's gonna be one of those they had a huge win at Buffalo or a huge win at home against Buffalo, which they shouldn't have won, to be honest with you, and they hung in there because Derrick Henry's Derrick Henry. So I might regret this decision. I'm gonna go Kansas City. I hope I'm wrong, just because I love seeing Kansas City burn. It's great to see. I'm glad everyone announced this kid as the next GOAT, and he might not sniff another Super Bowl. So, can we stop? Can we stop with this whole thing with naming people the GOAT, this, that, and the other because they have a really good run? And we haven't noticed, other than Tom Brady, who is the GOAT, teams win early in the careers for their quarterbacks. You don't see them ever kind of come back 7, 8 years, 9 years into their career, winning Super Bowls. You don't, as long as you're with that same team. If you got like Peyton Manning who's venturing out to other teams, you don't really see that happen. You really don't. It's very, very rare. It's very early in careers where the rookie deal is kind of still in there and they're not making as much money. So, yeah, I'm okay with seeing Kansas City burn. So if you get this one, Will, I'm totally cool with it, man. I'm okay with seeing Kansas City burn.
Let's see. Washington football team at the Packers. I can fill you in for this one. I already wrote you down for it.
You could fill me in. Taylor Heineke almost lost me in my fantasy game this week, so I'm over that. I'm over playing him, so thanks. Oof.
Atlanta Falcons at Miami.
I did say Miami's going to find themselves in the playoffs. I think this is Tua's. If Tua's still around, like Tua proves, like, holy crap, please don't trade me. Dolphins win.
I'm gonna go opposite of you. I think the Washington trade does not go through by the end of the week, and Tua's stuck there, and he's obviously going to have to hear about this the entire week. Toilet bowl. That's the only appropriate thing for this game. That's the only thing I can come up with.
You did say hold on Atlanta. So Atlanta could get a little interesting here. You did say hold on Atlanta, whether it was the last show or the show before that. You said a hold on Atlanta. So this could be interesting for your hold on Atlanta thing.
Score Daryl Patterson and Calvin Ridley, and also Kyle Pitts. I think Kyle Pitts is another huge game. I gotta go. I'm going with Atlanta.
It's about time they start using Kyle Pitts. Like, holy crap! It took Atlanta, a few good weeks to get that one going, huh?
Rookie tight ends are never good out of the gate. They're not. They kind of take like a year to like kind of get in, but with no receivers, Matt Ryan was able to find him a lot in London. Let's see. The Cincinnati Bengals at the Baltimore Ravens. This is in Baltimore.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Ravens here. This is one of those things. Until otherwise proven, I'm literally taking what's it called.
And I will match you with taking Baltimore. Let's see. The Eagles at Vegas.
I got to take the Raiders, dude. I picked against them. I thought the Broncos had pretty much an easy game, like with the dysfunction of the Raiders. I got to take the Raiders, dude. Philly hasn't really proven anything to me where I'm like, oh, cool, I'm on the Philly train. So I got to take the Raiders, dude. Max Crosby's been an absolute monster this year for them. I know he's up there high. I think he's like third in Pro Football Focus in rating. I think he's there behind Cam and Donald. So he's been an absolute stud for the Raiders.
I'll match you with Vegas. Houston at Arizona.
Houston, yeah. Why'd you even ask me? Could I even just filled me in?
Well,
just filled me
I
in.
feel like this is like the trap game for Arizona. I feel like this is the trap game. Just the team with kind of it's falling apart. This is what will happen. So I'm gonna go with Arizona. I'm not going with Houston, but I feel like this game might be a lot closer than what people think. And also D-Hop's homecoming. Well, revenge coming. It's not really homecoming, but revenge coming against Houston.
Yeah, you don't think he's gonna like absolutely go bonkers on them? Come on now.
The Chicago Bears at Tampa Bay.
Yeah, you can give me the Bucks. Dude, that was the funniest thing with Aaron Rodgers. I own you. I always will own you.
Oh, that was the funniest thing in this chat at work. That was the funniest thing.
Dude, I cannot wait for Rodgers to be a Steeler somehow, and he does the same thing to the AFC North. I own you, Cleveland. I own you, Baltimore. I own you, Cincinnati. I cannot wait. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers is a funny guy, dude. He's so funny. Like I've never been more into the Pat McAfee show than I kind of am now with him, dude. He's actually hilarious. Like he may be not the kindest guy to his family, but dude, he's such a funny guy. I'm really all in on Aaron Rodgers.
And let's see, Sunday Night Football, the Indianapolis Colts at the San Francisco 49ers.
Dude, I got with the Colts. I don't know if T.Y. is going to be active this game. I know he was back last week and he came back with a vengeance. I know they're I guarantee he kind of plays on something he doesn't feel well after the game kind of deal.
I think it was a calf injury.
Yeah, Wentz has been – I mean, dude, he always has calf injuries. I'm sitting there like I'm getting ready to pick up Ty and fantasy, and I'm sitting there like I'm gonna get 2 weeks out of him. He's gonna get hurt. Like that's literally what's gonna happen to this dude. But dude, Carson Wentz playing some really, really good football. Starting to figure it out there in Indy. Shocker, kind of like I called that one because like he's with the guy who he had his darn near MVP season with. So surprise, surprise.
I'm gonna take Indianapolis as well. I can't take the 49ers just yet. I can't. Although I think this could be a really close game. We could see, the Colts O-line versus the defensive line of the 49ers. I think that might be the matchup of the night there. And Monday night, let's stick on the West Coast. New Orleans at Seattle. I'm gonna go with the Saints. I'll start out. I'll go with the Saints. I was gonna pick Seattle. I was.
Oh, you're done with the Geno train? Surprise.
No, I'm not done with the Geno train. I'm trying not to fall behind against you, so I have to play it smart.
Where's this game at?
This is in Seattle.
Oh, see, you know what? Dude, Greg, you're all in on the dogs at home. The TikToks, you get me to laugh a few times. Yeah, I gotta go Seattle, dude. I'm gonna go against your little thing you got going there with Geno Smith. You can pop up the picture if you like, a little sideways picture of Geno. But yeah, I gotta take Seattle. They're not gonna get ugly as much as I'd like to see it get ugly in Seattle. I think Seattle gets it done here at home.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, I think rounds out our show. You can follow us on all these great platforms, and thank you very much to U Stadium for providing us providing us with such a great platform to be hosting our show on live every single week. You can follow us on Facebook, Play Action Podcast, Play-Action Podcast, Play Action Pod 1 over on Twitter. Make sure you like the stream, subscribe. You can see all these live streams back on our YouTube channel, Play Action Podcast, over on there, and also Instagram, the Play Action Podcast. You can find all news and stuff as I post them as they happen for the most part.
You are very good. Again, make sure you give a like and a follow to the U Stadium podcast, or not podcast. Geez, you have a bazillion podcasts to the network, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. Subscribe there as well. Thank you, Greg. Appreciate it, my man. I'm excited. I'm excited to see where this thing continues to go. The U Stadium's giving us a nice platform here, and again, give a follow to all of our accounts. I mean, we greatly appreciate it. We're pumping out content as much as possible. So we appreciate the guys here at U Stadium for giving us the
opportunity. Also, shout out to Ryan behind the scenes, getting all these memes up. I couldn't do that. If I was doing that, I couldn't do that. He's so fast. He has everything already queued up. He has everything right there.
Yeah, he's sitting there. He was waiting for all of these. He was waiting for that whole.
He knew what we were talking about.
He loved that Watson thing. Dude, the best one was 2 at the bus station with SpongeBob. That was definitely my favorite. Definitely my favorite for the day.
But guys, thank you for tuning in. Tune in next week live, 5 Eastern, 5 p.m. Eastern, whatever your time zone is, 4 Central, 3 Mountain, or 2 Pacific. Or if you're across the seas, I don't know where you are, but there's a whole bunch of time conversions over there. So thank you guys for tuning in. Tune in next week. Thank you very much.